Hey everyone, so welcome to the final video. I'm going to be talking about scheduling, and so now you reflected on 2017, you thought about what skills and interests you wanted to improve, and now you're just thinking, dang, I have these 4 big things. How do I fit them into my schedule so that I'm able to do them? So for me, I thought about the different ways to do scheduling. I first thought about splitting it up by months, then by half months, then by 2 weeks, and just thinking about do I really need a month to do one thing, to focus on one thing? And I was like, all right, well, in the software engineering world, we do things by sprints, which are typically 2 weeks. So I think 2 weeks is a good amount of time to finish one task. Then I was thinking, oh, should I have it balanced? Should I have just focus on one thing? Should I do singing, YouTube, and a side project all in 1 week? Or should I just focus 1 or 2 weeks on singing, or just 1 or 2 weeks on my side project, or just 1 or 2 weeks on YouTube? Then I was thinking about the intensity. Should I make every sprint very intense, or should I make every sprint very balanced, or should I have a very intense sprint, then a very light sprint, and just alternate between that? So those are the things I was considering, and I don't have a clear answer. I think it varies from person to person, and I think that I just have to experiment and try it out. But what I do know is math, and I also know that there are 52 weeks in a year. Divide that by 4, that's 13. And then basically 13 is 1 more than 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that's 6 sprints and then 1 free week. So I think it's really easy to divide the year into a quarter, and every quarter would have 6 sprints and a free week. So basically those are your options and the different types of sprints that you may have. So you can probably try to experiment with that too, and let me know how it goes. So besides thinking about the different ways I could be scheduling my interests, I also thought about each individual interest and which could be permanent and which could be interchangeable. So I looked at them and I was like, okay, well, singing is probably permanent because 1, I like it the most, and 2, I have to be constantly singing or else I might stagnate or even get worse. But when it comes to making money, that's probably also permanent, but probably will take less time. So maybe I'll just dedicate an hour or 2 a week. However, things my working on a side project or making YouTube videos, those are interchangeable. Although it'd be nice if I was consistent, right? But then if I wanted to, I could only do programming, or I could just only do YouTube that week. So I'll always be singing, and I'll always be looking at ways I could be making passive income, and checking my stocks to make sure my investments don't go to 0. But when it comes to YouTube and working on my side project, I can either choose to do one of them or do both of them or do none of them. So my weeks can either be all singing, or singing and YouTube, or singing and programming, or a balanced mixture of singing, badminton, and YouTube. So yeah, for you, think about which interests you want to always be doing and which interests you can put in and put out, kind of like widgets. So after thinking about all that, the next thing I thought about was, how can I not get burnt out? Because with a very intense schedule, I realized that in the past, I kept getting burnt out. And I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, there are a couple of factors. And I think the most important factor is you just have to love the 4 things that you chose. If you want to wake up at 6 every day in the morning, what you choose has to be more lucrative and more attractive than staying in bed. And I think the thought of me working on a side project or wanting to improve at singing is a very good reason for me to get out of bed at 6. So I wrote down a couple other things. One of them is watching an inspired movie every week or month. Maybe a week is too much and a month is too little. Maybe at the end of every sprint. I feel like watching movies or very inspiring animes, they inspire you and they make you, or at least they make me want to achieve more and really push myself and try to make myself grow and see what I'm truly capable of. I think another very important thing to not get burnt out is just incorporate rest into your schedule. Either have a chill day like in the middle of the week and at the end of the week, or maybe like I said, have a chill sprint and a very intense sprint, or maybe have like a few vacations, maybe at the end of every quarter, or in the middle of the year and at the end of the year. Because I don't think we're not machines. We can't constantly be chugging. I think there's like a ebb and a flow and like a cycle. I found another thing that helps me avoid getting burnt out is to meditate kind of like between my tasks. Just maybe even like 10 seconds just at the end of a task, like maybe at the end of an hour, you just close your eyes and you just clear your mind for like 10 to 30 seconds or maybe a minute. I think it really helps, and it sort of gives me like closure, like okay, I finished that, clear my mind, started the new thing. So maybe that will help. Another thing is to just have a consistent schedule. With a consistent schedule, you start to form these habits, and you're not constantly fighting the current. You're sort of just going down the current of your habits. I think with a really consistent schedule, it gets really easy to just wake up at 6 in the morning, go to sleep at 11 or 12, and sort of like you just know what you have to do, and you don't have to constantly think about what you need to do. And yeah, those were sort of the things that I came up with when I was thinking about how I can prevent myself from burning out, because I know I had just like such a crazy schedule that I was probably going to burn out. So if there was any way I could prevent that, then that'd be really great. And yeah, I guess if you yourself know any like tips or tricks on how to not get burnt out, please leave them in the comments, and maybe I'll like reply and include it in another video. Alright, so finally, this brings me back to my schedule. Like I said, I split up my year into quarters, and then every quarter I'll have 6 sprints and then 1 free week. And I try to alternate between like balanced and like focusing on one thing, and maybe like even trying out 1 week sprints instead of 2 week sprints. So I'll put in my schedule again. This is my proposed schedule, or what I plan to do my first week at Lyft, and this is like more of the balanced types. But then if I choose to do singing or computer science or YouTube, I'll probably just switch out the other stuff for whatever I'm focusing on that sprint. And then tentatively, the first sprint is going to be balanced, the second sprint is focused on singing, third sprint balanced, fourth sprint singing, fifth sprint computer science, sixth sprint balanced, and then my free week I'm going to spend making YouTube videos. I guess I'll make another video at the end of the quarter just to let everyone know how I did, if I actually was able to pull off this monster schedule, or I started to like slack off, and yeah. Alright, cool. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you got here, you probably watched the whole video series. I hope that this video series really helped you, and I hope that you reflected on 2017, you thought about some interests and passions, and you come up with a schedule that will help you bring your dreams into a reality to make your 2018 way better than your 2017. And I'm really glad that I started making videos in 2017. It was really cool to start helping people and getting all this feedback saying, oh hey, you really helped me, thank you so much for your videos, I got the internship I really wanted. In 2018, I hope that I'll continue to make videos. Hopefully they'll be even better, even higher quality, and help even more people, and get more people internships, help more people with their planning, and show more people how much better I get at singing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy New Year's!